Hello and welcome back to my nail corner. I am sipping my warm coffee here. This video was recorded the first day of snow this year, and I cannot believe how much snow we've had since then. But this was the perfect mani to bring in the snowy season here in the Pacific Northwest. Corgi's Wine and Nails, my sweet Miranda, collaborated with Gigi's Nail Co. and came up with this gorgeous Love Like Winter collection. And I am just looking at the swatches I already wore. This one is Cool Kids. It's a super light pink with a beautiful shimmer to it. I wore it on all 10 fingers and did not want to take it off. So pretty. And look at these coordinating glitters. Holy cow. They really nailed this collection. No pun intended. There's the gorgeous swatch picture from the Gigi's Nail Co. website, and then there's a little baggie right there on my table you can see of these gorgeous snowflake glitters that you can place individually on whatever you want. Definitely hop over to Miranda's Instagram, that's Corgi's Wine and Nails, and she has some gorgeous manis already up from this collection. You can see the way that she placed the snowflake glitters on different different glitters and stuff. So gorgeous. So definitely check that out. She also has a video on her YouTube channel of a mani that she created that is just stunning from this collection. So she was sweet enough to send this over to me. Oh, I have worn several colors and can't wait to get more on my nails. But I made sure to film this one because I knew I was gonna love it, and I wanted to introduce that collection to you guys. And I only regret that it took me this long to get it edited and up on my YouTube channel, because I did record this like last month, but it has been a crazy month with the holidays, with everything that's been going on with our family. I also had my brother and his 3 kids here from out of town from Christmas to New Year's, so that was super fun and just kind of a lot of family time with the kiddos. And so yeah, I haven't been at my nail desk or editing videos as much as I would like to. I'm really trying to get back on track, on schedule this new year. I'm at minimum trying to get up once a week, because I know recently I've been like once every 10 days or something like that. Far cry from my twice a week schedule. So I am working my way back into a routine, so bear with me. But thanks for being here today, you guys, as I'm voiceover recording. It's actually Wednesday morning, so I'm hoping to get this uploaded today. I've got more snow outside. It's just been snowing for like weeks. We had most of it melt away the other day. My lawn was clear, my road was clear, my walkway was clear, and then we got a winter storm warning for tonight. So this night, Wednesday night, we're supposed to get 4 to 8 inches. But out of nowhere last night, we got like 2 inches. So I don't know what's happening with the weather here in the Pacific Northwest. I like the snow, so I'm not complaining, but I'm just surprised because it's pretty unusual for us to get this much, especially like this early in the season. So anyway, now I'm yammering on, but I do want to let you know that this collection is still available at Gigi's Nail Co. So I will put the link in the description box below. You can buy the whole set in 2 different size options, or you can purchase the colors individually, and then I believe the baggie of snowflakes is also available individually on the website. And I have to tell you, the snowflakes are stunning. The ones I'm using in this mani are like a mint to lavender like shift, and I'll show you, or attempt to show you, a good like close-up on video of those. But there are like holographic ones. They're just like a really pretty collection of snowflake glitters. And I'm going to place them on this mani so you can see kind of, I'll walk you through my tips for getting them to apply nice and smooth. I know that that's a struggle sometimes when you've got glitters that are snowflakes and they have like pointy edges that can stick up. They can be hard to get flat. So I'll show you what works for me and tips and tricks that I've seen other gals use that I've adopted, and hopefully it will help you in your process. But how gorgeous are these shimmers, you guys? I love working with shimmers. They're just so like, just easy to work with. They turn out beautifully, it seems like every time, flawlessly. So I will make sure to post in the description box the specific names of the colors that I used from the collection, and then of course a link to the website so you guys can shop yourselves. But I couldn't pass this one up and I had to show it off to you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. So now I've done my thumb and my pinky with my shimmer colors, and then we're going to get into what they call a marble dip. Now, if you've been with me for a while, I did use one of Gigi's Nail Co. Marble dips a while back called Galway Girl. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, but if you haven't been with me for a while, then thank you for joining me, and please consider subscribing. That helps me out, and it will show you or give you a notification when new content arrives. And consider liking this video because that also helps me out. So I am applying my dip base. I am using my Virgo and Gem base liquid today, and then I'm going to go in with this marble dip. Now, I like to pour over my first layer when I'm doing any bit of a chunky glitter. I find that helps the finer glitters from the dip adhere and give me a good base, but like a nice thin base for that nail, because if you've ever worked with a chunky glitter, like that nail can get thick like right quick and in a hurry. So I like to do a pour over for my first layer, and then for my second layer I pour out the glitter into the cupcake liner and lay my finger in it upside down. If that doesn't make sense, you'll see it visually in a minute and it'll make more sense. So after the first layer, I just want to make sure like I have a nice kind of solid application, so to speak. I want to cover as much of the nail as possible with the base shimmer and glitter to that mix, and then pat it down with your finger like you see me doing there. Now, you don't want to do that like immediately, because if your dip base is still not quite setting, then you could move things around, but just a gentle pat over the surface will kind of help anything that's sticking like up off the nail lay more flat. So then for my second layer, I apply dip base. If you shimmy the cupcake liner like you just saw me do, it kind of brings the chunkier glitters to the top. And the thing about these marble dips is they have these great like white hex glitters. They're matte. They kind of look like snow on or in the mix. So when you lay your finger in that, you're gonna want to shimmy those to the top, and the more of those like white glitters, it's weird. I think of glitter as like shimmery and shiny. I don't know why I'm hesitating to say glitter. They're white matte glitters. Those are going to create your marble effect. So like I said, I laid my finger in it upside down. That collects as many of those as possible, and then I pat it flat with my finger, just like all the way around the edges. And I try to move with my precision tool there, which is from Triple D. It's also linked in the description box. It's like my favorite tool. Just move anything away from the cuticle line and the edges, because you'll end up filing those. With these glitters, not a huge deal. With other glitters that have like a silver inside and a colored exterior, if you file into those, you're gonna have silver exposed, where you really just want your colored glitter. So if you move your glitters in away from your edge, it's really good practice so that you don't end up filing into those. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just using a nail file to file residue off of my finger. If you were smart, you'd use like a little plastic baggie, but you can see there how thin the application is when you just press those glitters down, and how flat they're laying because of that method. So that works out really nicely. I am going to get into a little bit of vertical ombre. So I'm going to show you how I do that. It's pretty basic. I use an eyeshadow application brush. These are Wet n Wild that I use. They're like under $1 last time I checked on Amazon, and they are linked in my Amazon storefront below. They are a tool I use over and over again when ombreing. And did you see that? I almost put the glitter on the wrong side of my nail. I'm having moments these days, senior moments. Anyway, so I like to take that eyeshadow brush, dip it into the glitter, and just tap, tap, tap on the side of the nail that I want that to go on. And then I'm going to switch to another brush, and I'm going to put that lavender on the other side of the nail. And then when I do the second layer, I'm going to reverse. I typically reverse. Hopefully I'm not lying to you right now. I typically reverse the order, and then I would do the lavender first and then the glitter. So when you're ombreing, especially with solids, but also with glitters, it's good to kind of go back and forth, and that helps like a nice blend in the middle. And when I'm doing glitters, I tend to, for my second layer, do the solid first and then the glitter, because I want the glitters not to be like covered up by the solid, if you know what I mean. Like I want the glitters on top of that ombre. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to finish this ombre action, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you guys about glitter placement. So hang in there. Thanks for being with me, and I'll be right back. Okay, so as you saw, I placed a few of those individual white pieces on the nail. Look at how gorgeous this shift is in the Snowflake. Do you catch that? The like minty to lavender shift. Oh, it's so pretty. Anyway, I placed a few of those individual like white glitters on my nail because when you're tapping on with a brush like I was doing, the brush tends to pick up more of the fine glitters, which is great. And then you can individually apply the chunkier pieces as you wish, which I really kind of like the way that shakes out because it gives me more control over where my like chunkier pieces go, and you can kind of make sure that they lay flat. So I went ahead and did that. Obviously I did my index finger ombre off camera. You know, I showed you on the ring finger, and I'm trying not to be too repetitive because this video was getting a little bit long. But I'll tell you, these manis that take like a little bit longer and a little more individual attention, they tend to be my favorite in the end, not only because of the work put in, but the payoff is so good. So I went ahead and applied dip base to my nail, and then I'm picking up the snowflakes with the tweezers and placing them individually where I want them. If you don't have tweezers, you could use your finger. You could get a little bit of dip base on like a toothpick, and that'll help pick them up, whatever works for you. So I'm just kind of placing them where I want to on the nail. If your dip base starts to dry while you're doing this, then feel free to apply a little bit more around the edges of the snowflake. But once you kind of have them placed where you want, then you're going to want to work on getting those edges to stick down. And it can be a little tricky, you guys. Like, dip base is basically super glue. So there were times when my tweezers, like the tips started to stick to the snowflake, or when they started to stick together. Like, this is just going to be an exercise in patience. But like I said, the payoff is so good. So I went ahead, figured out where I wanted them as needed, added a little bit more dip base to be able to stick those like at like the corners of the snowflake down. And then what you're going to see me do is grab my activator. So activator is what cures your dip base. So when you apply dip base to your nail and dip in powder, it doesn't harden fully until you apply activator. So activator is going to cure that dip base like quick. So as I've applied that activator to the dip base, I'm now pressing down those tips of the snowflake because the dip base is hardening. So as you press them down with the activator, it's like keeping them secured down rather than waiting like minutes and minutes and minutes for the dip base to dry on its own. So the activator is really a great trick. Now, keep in mind that now that you've put activator on top of that, if you're going to clear dip on top like I am, you want a couple minutes to have passed, because activator would then, if you immediately started applying dip base right now on top of that, the activator is going to cure your new layer of dip base. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm sorry if it doesn't, but you want to wait a couple minutes is basically what I'm saying. So I went ahead and did the snowflakes on my index finger off camera just to save us some time here. And now I'm going to speed up through my clear dip application. So I clear cap everything, but you guys, I cannot emphasize enough that clear dip on top of your like snowflake or chunky glitters is the ticket. Like, you could not file that without your clear dip on top. So if you don't have clear dip, like, I probably wouldn't even bother with this design unless you have like gels and you want to do a gel encapsulation or builder gel encapsulation. That is another option that you could file. But if you don't encapsulate those nails, you're just going to file off the snowflakes and the chunky glitter. So definitely get yourself some clear dip if you don't have it already. This is the clear from Gigi's Nail Co. and it's excellent. So if you're shopping over there, I definitely encourage you to add some of that to your cart. I have one container for glitters and one for solids, and that just keeps your glitter from contaminating any of your solid nails. So I recommend a generous dip in clear to encapsulate, especially those the marble and the snowflake nails. So that's what I'm doing here. And then you're gonna see like those nails, they look a bit messy, right? But then I'll come back after filing and buffing off camera, and you will see that a little bit of elbow grease and some good filing makes a world of difference. I often look at a mani at about this stage and I'm like, oh crap, like what did I do? How am I going to make this look pretty? I don't even know. And you're tempted to just like throw it away. But I'm telling you, some good filing and buffing is really the trick. So clear encapsulation, filing and buffing, and you can save just about anything. So you will also see that after I activate, now like notice, I already clear dipped that. So I am doing a second dip in clear. And that is also because my Virgo and Gem base is a very thin applying base. So it's, I like to do a second layer if I know that I'm going to be doing like a good amount of filing. But if you're using a thicker base, then you may not need to. So that's up to your discretion. But I always figure a bigger filing margin is better than a smaller filing margin and then ruining the design I just did. So anyway, you're going to see that when I activate those nails, I am still going to use the method I was doing before, and I'm going to press down on the top of those nails to try to smooth out the glitters and snowflakes even more and just make sure all that clear dip is like solid and flat. So I'm going to let you guys finish watching that. I'm going to file and buff off camera, and then I'm going to pop back in to talk about top coat, and then we'll be done. Okay, you see what difference filing and buffing makes? Like everything is nice and smooth, cleaned up around the cuticle lines for the most part. Nothing's flawless, you guys. It's never perfect, but I was happy with it. I love this mani so much. These colors coordinated so beautifully. Miranda and Gigi's Nail Co. did such a gorgeous job. Kim created some like masterpiece dips for this collection, and I'm so impressed. So I'm going in with my West Coast Dips gel base. I love the West Coast Dips gels. They are a Canadian brand. I will also link their products or their website in the description box below. But the gels, they're not HEMA free, so warning to anyone who has a HEMA allergy, but she did come out recently with HEMA free gels. I haven't tried them yet, but I do believe they're available on the website. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I'm quite sure I saw that announcement. So either way, I really, really like her gels. They apply beautifully. And when I'm finishing off a mani using gel top coat instead of dip top coat, I always apply gel base first. That gives a sticky layer for your gel top to adhere to. In my experience, if you just go in with gel top coat, that gel top coat has a tendency, and for me, always peels up, because gel top coat is not formulated to adhere to like a slick, smooth, buffed, smooth surface. So the gel base gives a tacky layer for it to stick to. And like I said, in my experience, this resolves the peeling issue every time, and I love that. Some people don't like that, they think it adds bulk to the nail. The gels I use, so West Coast Dips, Triple D, and Double Dip, all their gel base and top coats are quite thin, so I don't find that it adds any bulk to the surface of my nail or has it lose shape or anything, but that's my personal experience. So if you don't want to do gel base and then gel top, I would recommend that you use a gel primer, so either like Mia's Secret Extra Bond, Triple D Ultra Bond. There are a bunch of different ones, but specifically a gel bonder, because that will give a tacky layer also for your gel top coat to adhere to. I still find the best results with gel base, but like to each their own. I just want to give you guys options if you need them. So now I'm going in with the West Coast Dips gel top coat, and when I tell you guys this is such a good top coat, like I ain't lying. It is so smooth that whenever I have this on my nails, I'm like constantly like feeling the surface of the nail. So it's just like slick, smooth. I can't say enough good things about it. And like I said, if you've been here for a minute, you've heard me say these things before, but I can't say them enough. So after I apply my top coat, hang my hand upside down like that, it lets gravity kind of pull the gel away from the cuticle line and kind of form that nice smooth like apex, just like a good smooth application in the middle of the nail. And then I go ahead and cure for 60 seconds and then we're done. How pretty is that, you guys? The snowflakes are so nice and subtle because they're like shifty, but like, oh, so pretty. So I'm going to finish up with my Candi Skincare Cuticle Oil. I am still obsessed with the Celebration scent from this summer. It was a limited time release for like I think it was their anniversary scent. I have body butter in this scent and I am using it like all day, every day in this cold winter weather. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go over and shop Gigi's Nail Co. and check out Miranda's video and congratulate her on what an awesome collection she came up with. I will see you guys in the next vid. Bye now.